By Carl Jung's definition, a true symbol is a multi-dimensional living entity of mind and culture, and it is a vehicle for the evolution of consciousness. The red pill of truth, as portrayed in The Matrix, is a potent living symbol of our time, loaded with layers of meaning. While we can ponder the many meanings of this symbol, such as its relation to the forbidden fruit of Genesis, to Plato's allegory of the cave, or the archetype of duality itself, the meaning which is most understood today is that it represents an awakening to the reality of integrated evil in the world. It also points directly to our current day society, where we are programmed to accept a parasitic state of affairs where our highest potential is stolen and siphoned off into the machine, which is itself a metaphor for civilization. At an even deeper level, the Red Pill Awakening is an initiation into the shadow of human consciousness itself, where evil is sourced in the psyches of each and every one of us. The Red Pill Awakening is a true initiation. It follows the anthropological stages of initiation: separation from the old world, initiatory ordeals and psychological dismemberment, and then a return to life transformed. The Matrix film takes Neo through all the stages of initiation, often associated with Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, but also related to the stages of Hermetic alchemy, where the ordeals eventually yield a total reformulation of the attitude and mindset of the hero into that of a higher being altogether. Initiation is an archetype rooted in the master cycle of life, death, and rebirth. To be transformed, one must die to an old way of thinking about themselves and the world around them. All initiations involve leaving behind one's prior life, such as with marriage, baptism, or admission into a specialized society or class. But the most transformational initiations put one face to face with physical and psycho-spiritual death and require intense trials in order to reformulate one's worldview into a structure that is truly evolutionary. Ancient puberty rites may be the quintessential example of initiation, but also the addict who hits rock bottom, or the individual faced with a midlife crisis or so-called spiritual emergency, where they physically come close to death and struggle immensely because the old ways of being, even if they are self-destructive, are so ingrained that only a severe separation process can open the door to a new way of being. Every red-pilled initiate who has come out of the rabbit hole sane and transformed will attest to the difficulty of the trials and the length of disorientation and suffering as their worldview and social status was slowly, painfully transformed. Every red-pilled initiate will also recognize the plight of Cypher in The Matrix, who wished he had never taken the red pill, and they can understand why most people do take the blue pill. It's easier to live in blissful ignorance of the reality of integrated evil. Once one is red-pilled, friends, family, and professional relations change. One's entire trajectory in life is changed as they are now recruited into a dissident movement of culture warriors and psycho-spiritual alchemists who are themselves transformation agents and initiation masters for the rest of humanity. It actually sounds evangelical, and it is in a way, because the red pill initiation is a deeply spiritual one. The default role for all red-pilled initiates is what we might call the red-pilled culture warrior. Their task is to awaken others who are asleep and to create culture and social structures that resist the spread of evil in the world. Red-pilled culture warriors are like specialized immune cells in the body politic. They can see what most other cells of the social body cannot, and they tag viral agents as invaders to be taken apart and flushed out. The red-pilled initiate has seen beyond the political left-right paradigm. They can clearly see that all ideologies and social structures can become parasitic and form into their own autonomous complexes that feed on human energy. Red-pilled initiates can see behind the facade of the red versus blue political game managed by intergenerational psychopaths. Using the lens of Ken Wilber's four-quadrant heuristic, we can see that the red-pilled culture warrior is focused on the bottom two quadrants, where evil manifests in culture as toxic ideologies and social structures where it is considered to be the collective deep state. But the top two quadrants are not primarily addressed by the red-pilled culture warrior. These are the domains where evil manifests in the personal mind and body. This is the domain of Carl Jung's shadow, and it is a domain that requires a second and even deeper initiation into the role of alchemist or psycho-spiritual warrior. In this role, the terrain is not culture and society, but that of mind and body, where the opponents of evolution are autonomous complexes, previously known as demons, that live in our own psychological shadows. It is from our own repressed shadows, where we have hidden away our personal darkness and wounds, that real psychic parasites take root and grow. From the point of view of human evolution, it's absolutely necessary that a sizable percentage of people awaken to the reality of integrated evil and take physical action to mitigate its spread in society. But to truly reduce the power of evil in the world, one cannot only be concerned with external ideas and structures, because these structures are not the causes of evil, but rather the symptoms of processes which are taking place inside the psychic shadows of all of us. Mass formation psychosis is really another term for Carl Jung's collective shadow, and it can only catch fire on the fuel that exists in the personal shadows of each and all of us. The alchemist also takes action to mitigate darkness, but their focus is turned inwards towards their own inner dysfunction and their own psycho-spiritual healing. The psycho-spiritual alchemist, the higher level initiate, can witness their own mind engaging in shadow projection and the cycling of their own self-destructive complexes, which create physical and mental turmoil and relational conflict in life. Through continual shadow work, they reduce the intensity and spread of their own dark energy, removing themselves from the equation of evil while freeing up their life force to be used towards their highest purpose in life, not chronic disease and mental dysfunction. Are you ready for your second initiation? Are you ready to begin your shadow work? Are you ready to heal yourself and to grasp the grail of your life's highest purpose? Visit us at shadowtechalchemy.com and download the book Shadowtech for free.